Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the sometimes confusing world of corporate filings, and let's just say this Sadot Group Inc. Filing has a few interesting twists and turns that make you wonder if they're cooking up something new, or just trying to clean house before we dive in if you enjoy getting straight to the point insights from these dense documents. Make sure you are subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below if you want to chat with fellow corporate sleuths. Alright, let's get into what Sadot Group Inc. has been up to recently. They filed their Form 8K, which is basically a report for big events that happen between their regular quarterly or annual filings. Think of it as a company's way of saying, hey, something important just happened, you need to know about it. The first big event happened on the 3rd of December. They brought on a new Chief Financial Officer or CFO effectively starting the 6th of December. Now, this isn't just any CFO you see. They've decided to get their CFO services from a consulting company called Finance, Financial and Accounting Consulting Limited. This company is owned by Oren Attia, a gentleman who will be providing his expertise to Sadot. This arrangement means Mr. Attia is not a direct employee of Sadot, but rather a contractor through his own firm. Mr. Attia himself has a solid background. He founded CoFinance in 2014, and before that he was an audit manager at PwC Israel, a really big accounting and consulting firm. He has also been a CFO for other companies, including some public ones on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange and high-tech startups, so he has clearly got experience in finance and accounting. Now, about the money, Sadot will pay this consulting firm a monthly fee that is 7% less than what their CFO was paid in 2024, plus something called VAT, which is like a sales tax. They also mention that this is a gross payment, meaning the consulting firm is responsible for all their taxes and other obligations. This is an interesting structure because it keeps Mr. Attia as an independent contractor, not an employee. Their agreement also includes clauses about keeping things confidential, not competing, and assigning any inventions, which are pretty standard for these kinds of contracts. This whole CFO musical chairs happened because the previous CFO, Paul Sansom, resigned effective the 6th of December. The report states his resignation was not due to any disagreement with the company, which usually means it was on good terms. Or perhaps for personal reasons, the company accepted this resignation on the 8th of December, so Sadot effectively swapped out its direct CFO for a contracted one around the same time. But that is not all. There is another big event. They are reporting a significant asset sale was completed on the 4th of December. Sadot Group Inc. and its wholly owned subsidiaries sold off substantially all the assets related to their Pokemoto and Muscle Maker grill franchise businesses to a group called Marv Brands of America LLC and Marv Brands Inc. This means Sadot is stepping away from these restaurant operations. The buyers paid a total of $2.9 million for these assets. This included dough that was already paid franchise agreements, all their brand rights like trademarks and recipes inventory, and even gift card balances. It sounds like they sold off the whole operation piece by piece. The payment structure is quite interesting. They received $100,000 as a deposit, earlier $2.6 million at closing. And then there is a $200,000 holdback. This means that $200,000 is being held back and will only be paid out if Sadot fulfills certain conditions, most notably delivering any missing franchise and transfer agreements by a specific date. So what does this mean for Sadot? Essentially, they are getting out of the franchise restaurant business. This sale is intended to let them really focus on restructuring their remaining operations. It looks like a strategic move to simplify their business. And finally, under financials and exhibits, they list the consulting agreement as an exhibit, which is basically proof of that new CFO arrangement. We also see the cover page interactive data file, which is standard for SEC filings. They are also including the purchase agreement as an exhibit related to the big business sale. So looking at Sadot Group Inc., this filing tells a story of significant shifts. First, they've changed their CFO arrangement, bringing in an outsourced finance chief through a consulting firm. This could be a cost-saving measure or an attempt to get specialized expertise without the overhead of a full-time executive. This move comes as they are divesting major parts of their business, selling off their franchise restaurant operations. It seems like they are actively trying to streamline and refocus their company. What remains to be seen is what that restructured operation will look like from a Warren Buffett perspective. I'd look at this as a company that is clearly undergoing a major T-RAN formation. Selling off a whole business line is a big deal. It frees up capital and allows management to concentrate on what is left. However, it also raises questions about the future profitability and direction of the remaining business. Are they selling a problem business to focus on something more promising, or are they selling a cash cow because they lack the capital or strategy to grow it further? The fact that they are selling off franchise businesses might indicate a future focus on different types of ventures, or perhaps a retreat from consumer Facing operations, this is a risky period for Sadot as such dramatic changes can lead to either a strong comeback or further decline. We need to see how they reinvest the proceeds from the sale and how their new CFO structure supports that strategy. The risk here is that the remaining business might not be as profitable or that the restructuring itself will be costly and difficult to execute. Cut. The opportunity could be that by shedding these operations, they become a more agile and focused company that can capitalize on new market trends. The key will be transparent reporting and consistent execution in the quarters to come. Alright, that is our breakdown of Sadot Group Inc.'s latest filing. What is your take on these big changes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.